We recently spent 2 weeks on board the Caribbean Princess as we took her transatlantic crossing from Miami back to Southampton. Let us show you the room we called home for those 2 weeks in Baja 756. Baja 756 is a premium balcony cabin located off the aft of the ship on deck 11. Being on the aft of the ship means you get the benefit of being at the end of a corridor with very little passing foot traffic. As with all rooms on Medallion class Princess ships, room entry is gained via your medallion you either receive through the post or during embarkation. The medallion allows keyless entry to your room as you approach, as well as other services around the ship such as room charges and drink packages. Baja 756 sleeps 2 people and can be made up as 2 singles or a double. It's an ample size room for 2, and even though the decor is looking a little dated, the room was clean, tidy and functional. You'll find 2 bedside tables with storage, each with its own lamp and switch. On the left side of the bed there is also the room light controls within easy reach. The cabin features a spacious desk with a mirror and seat, perfect for working, makeup and hair needs. On the left side you'll find the room's power sockets, the only ones available. Keep in mind they're American style outlets with no USB ports. We used an adapter with 3 USB connections to charge our phones and devices easily, so if you're travelling on the Caribbean Princess from outside the US, don't forget to bring an adapter. The room does come with a hairdryer, but it wasn't particularly useful, so if drying your hair is a must, then I would suggest bringing your own. I'm not sure whether all Princess sailings come with a kettle in the room, but our last 2 have. They provided a selection of tea, sugar and milk, which was nice for enjoying on the balcony. If you find you want something such as decaf or fruit teas, you can always grab some from the buffet and leave them in your room, which is what we did. One thing to note is due to the only sockets being on the other side of the room, you will need to boil the kettle on the desk. However, it's still nice to have a cuppa in the morning on the balcony before leaving the cabin. There is a TV mounted in the corner of the room, and at first I did wonder whether the angle would be awkward to watch from bed. I do still prefer a TV at the end of the bed for ease of watching, however for the amount we actually did watch it, it wasn't really much of an issue. The wardrobe space is just in front of the bathroom and has a shelf and a large rail with hangers provided. We found it pretty plentiful for 2 of us travelling for 2 weeks, and we also used this area to store both of our cases for the trip so they're out the way. During rough seas, we noticed that the empty hangers would rattle quite loudly during the night, so we did end up taking the empty ones off to allow us to sleep. In addition to the wardrobe, there is a floor-to-ceiling cupboard with multiple shelves you can also use for storage. This also encompasses the room safe. The safe is really easy to use and set up. Just enter your 4-digit PIN, close the door and turn the handle. To open, just re-enter the 4-digit PIN. It's not going to fit a laptop, but we used it to store our wallets, passports and cash we weren't going to be using every day. The bathroom was small but an adequate size for 1 person. Like most cabin bathrooms, there's a small lip at the entrance, so watch your toes, especially in the dark. The large mirror was perfect for getting ready in the morning, but it did steam up completely when you got out the shower. I didn't try the lotion, but the hand soap smelled lovely. Face cloths were also included and replaced regularly. There was some pretty sturdy storage at the side of the sink which we used to keep the sink surface free of clutter, and even when we did encounter some rough weather, everything stayed put. There is also a bathroom shaver socket above the first shelf if you need it. The one thing I hate about this shower was the shower curtain. I did find myself fighting it off more than once, and it did tend to leave a puddle of water on the floor outside the shower. Saying that though, the water pressure was generally good and there was no issues with hot water unless you wanted a shower at super peak times like 5 PM. The shower also includes a pull-out clothes line for drying wet clothes. The bathroom isn't the greatest place for drying clothes due to the lack of air, but if you have something dripping wet then it's better than nothing. Shampoo and body wash was topped up daily and easily accessible, mounted on the shower wall. We didn't use the shampoo as we took our own, but the body wash was pretty good and had a nice scent. You get a hand towel and bath towel each, and we did try and be good and rehang these back up to save on washing, but they are replaced as often as you want if you just leave them on the floor. You can even ask for a spare if you need more than one. Now let's talk about the best thing about this room, the aft balcony. The whole reason we chose this room was to get the full view from the back of the boat. There are 2 seats with a table and 2 footstools. You have a magnificent view of each port as you sail away, and watching the wake of the ship over the balcony was mesmerising. You weren't overlooked by anyone, so it felt like your own secluded bit of heaven. The one thing I was worried about when we booked this room is the reviews stating that there were noise from the engines. Yes, there is some noise from the engines, but it wasn't enough to really bother us, but here's an example of what it sounds like. However, when docking early in the morning, you did get a really loud vibration which you could feel through the entire cabin and was enough to wake you up. Luckily, with this being a transatlantic, we didn't make that many stops, so the disruption was minimal. The last downside to this room was the smell of food. I had read some people having had this issue on previous sailings and others not. We did indeed get a smell of food occasionally in the cabin, and at times it could be quite strong, but it wasn't just in our room, it was all the way down the corridor to the stairs by the lifts. I think it's a combination of which way the wind is blowing and what type of food is being prepared. Whether this is true or not, I can't verify, but I did read that the kitchen extraction vent is right next to some of the aft balcony rooms on this age of ship, which can cause the smell and is no longer designed like this on the newer ships. If the smell of food would put you off this room, even occasionally, I would avoid it. Overall, we found Baja 756 a lovely room to spend our time in travelling across the Atlantic. The room isn't without fault, and if this was a cruise with far more stops, I think the docking vibration would have really been a problem for me, as it did wake me up. The room itself, however, was quiet and we both slept very well. The bathroom was fine and the balcony view gave us many a day and evening sitting enjoying the wake of the ship and the incredible views leaving port. We even enjoyed breakfast on the balcony several times. The noise from the engines didn't bother me at all day to day, as in the cabin it's more of a dull hum, but the food smell could be quite strong at times, and if you have a sensitive stomach or suffer from seasickness, it might potentially put a dampener on your cruise. We would totally choose an aft balcony again on another ship, and would again for the transatlantic with Caribbean Princess, but for a regular cruise on her, I would definitely choose a room higher up or on the side. Have you stayed in this cabin? Let us know down in the comments below what your thoughts were. Thanks for watching, and please help us by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more cruise and travel content. See you on the next voyage.